Well, the concessions are out, the horses are at the barn, and racing back at Pimlico Race Course. And in a matter of days, Old Hilltop will host the 149th running of the Preakness Stakes. And by this summer, state of Maryland could become the new owners of the famed racetrack, setting off the start of a project to redevelop not only the track, but even Park Heights itself. And this week, we'll know for sure whether Kentucky Derby winner Mystik Dan will try his hand at a Triple Crown. Joining us now, Scott Wykoff from WBAL Radio. If you know Scott, you know this is his time of year. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
This is fun. The ending of the Derby, if you weren't a horse racing fan at that point, I guess you are now after watching that.
That was amazing.
Holy cow.
And so many people tuned into it. And it was the talk of the entire weekend. People kept texting me and said, this is unbelievable. Even the people that I gave the wrong horse to, that, you know, because every year people text me at the last minute about the Preakness picks, about the Derby picks.
I'm guilty of that.
But it was a fantastic race, and it'll set up for a great Preakness.
Yeah, truth be told, we are taping this on Friday, so things could change by Sunday, but we're all curious.
It's a horse race.
Right, we're all Tell us about the winner, Mystik Dan. What's the chance here?
Well, real good chance.
Okay.
Mystik Dan is a horse that sets up really nicely for the Preakness. And trainer Kenny McPeak, who won the Preakness in the COVID year when it was run in October with Swiss Skydiver, a filly, he loves the Preakness, and he was just, backing off. So it trained well. Mystik Dan has really trained well during the week at Churchill Downs, staying there. But it's the type of horse that sets up nicely for this race. But it's interesting because the Derby winner in Baltimore for the Preakness would not be the favorite, because Bob Baffert, who has won this race more than anyone else, will be bringing the favorite in. He's not allowed to race right now in the Kentucky Derby. He's been banned from the Derby for a while by Churchill Downs. So he'll bring in the favorite, Muth. And Muth is a horse that's won some big races and has really been pointed towards the Preakness for couple months now. Sure. So that'll be interesting. And he also has another horse, Imagination, and another trainer who's won multiple Preaknesses, Dwayne Lucas. He's bringing two horses in.
Cow.
So it'll be interesting. And also a chance for a local horse. There's a race that's run always here in Maryland called the Tessio Stakes. And whoever wins that gets an automatic entry. Win and you're in the Preakness. And Copper Tax is that horse. And Gary Capuano, a local trainer, his family has been training horses for decades here in Maryland. He'll train that horse. So it really lines up as a great race.
Well, what is it that Baffert and Dwayne Lucas do differently than any other trainers? What makes them have the winners that they usually have?
They have a feel for what it takes to win at each individual track. And it's something a little bit different. And they know where to point their horses. And they've been able to point horses to the Preakness that maybe didn't do well in the Kentucky Derby, maybe didn't even go to the Kentucky Derby, like Muth that'll be coming here. And they're able to find a way for them to respond to the track here. And they just focus on this. They've been in the Kentucky Derby game for a long time, and they just like how it's a little more real. We keep it real in Baltimore for the Preakness. They say there's a lot of pressure at the Kentucky Derby, but they say the Preakness is a different type of race. They get the right owners, and they present those owners saying, we can go to Baltimore and we can do well, and they've won more Preaknesses than anyone.
Is the lure of having the Triple Crown, like, is it tarnished a little bit now? Because it seems like the decision is always, well, maybe we will run or maybe we won't. It seems like to me it'll be automatic. Yeah, we're going to try for a Triple Crown.
Well, Kenny McPeak said right after the Derby, he said, who wouldn't want to run in the Preakness? He goes, but the horse is going to tell me. And that's really the case now, because horse racing has changed a little bit. A lot of the trainers and the owners are deciding to put some more time between races. Now, back in the day, they wanted to race more often because it kept the horses more honest in their performances, and they thought that they would be able to do that. Now there's a sense of maybe putting more time between races, so that's why some horses that don't do well in the Derby are pointed right towards the Belmont, because they said, you know what, if they didn't do well in the Derby, they're probably not going to do well 2 weeks later, so we'll set them up for maybe 6 or 8 weeks later in the Belmont.
It seems like we've been talking about the redevelopment of Pimlico Race Course for a very, very long time.
As long as I've been here, 22 years.
So where are we now? Are we going to see this come to life?
Yes, we can see it. It's a done deal. And a lot of credit goes to Governor Moore and his administration. They came in and really wanted to make this happen twofold, because it's part of the fabric of Maryland, the Preakness, but also for the economic redevelopment in Park Heights, an urban development project that oftentimes you need something that can center around that project. And this new reimagined Pimlico will be that. And I think it'll be really interesting to see where Park Heights takes off as a part of this. And it's also an event. And events are what it's so important to so many people across the country. And, you know, these different people count up the number of events that are really around the country. This is considered one of the top 25 events anywhere in sports around the country, also including political conventions and things of that sort. You don't want that to leave. You want to keep it here. But as a Baltimorean and as an adopted son, wow, Pimlico, because for so long we thought it might be going to Laurel or maybe moving. But when it turned on a dime and the Moore administration came in and they worked with the legislature, they worked with the horse industry. The horse industry is a $2 billion a year industry in the state of Maryland. All those horses that we drive by on our way home at night or when we're out in business, those horses fuel the Maryland economy and all the different people that support those horses, not only in horse racing, but in breeding and things of that sort. So it was a big deal. It's going to happen, and this will be the last Preakness at Pimlico as we know it now. They're going to run the 150th Preakness at Pimlico next year. But the old wooden grandstands that have been closed off for the last few years, those will be torn down. They're going to save the wood to build the new Pimlico. It'll be kind of cool. And the barns that back up to Mount Sinai Hospital across on what they call the backstretch, those will all be gone Preakness next year. Then after next year's Preakness, it goes to Laurel Park for 1 year, and then back here for a party like no other.
All right, listen, I have 5 seconds left. This is $100. Who are you putting $100 on?
I'm going on Muth, Bob Baffert.
Wow, came right out of the gate. I love that.
Mr. Preakness. and the tie that I wear, it's the 1970s Preakness tie from Mr. Preakness. Chick Lang, Fran Burns gave this to me. Chick Lang developed these, and you got to wear it when it's Preakness time.
No one is more excited in Baltimore than you, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We appreciate it. Still ahead. Keep in mind, WBAL-TV will have you covered for all things Preakness. Our live coverage of the big race starts at 5 in the morning next Saturday. Also see how to get tickets and everything else you need to know about Preakness in the WBAL-TV app.